Good afternoon, Franklin Township. This is PJ Parker from the Franklin Reporter and Advocate, and we are live today at First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens for Joe Danielson's. That is our Assemblyman, New Jersey State Assemblyman Joe Danielsen, who has offered once again his expungement clinic. And he is joined by the Public Defender of New Jersey, Ms. Jennifer Siletti. And we are going to chat with both of them. What is expungement? How does it affect you? Can you participate? Why should you participate? And how? So, Assemblyman Danielsen, tell us about what this clinic is all about.
Thank you, PJ. We are partnering with the First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens and the Reverend Dr. Quick and the State Public Defender's Office to hold this expungement clinic that we call Clean Slate. It's all about clean slate, clean future, better tomorrow. Today, for free, we are providing a safe and secure environment for people to come down and have specialists review your past records that may be obstructing you from getting a job, starting a business, advancing your life. And you will sit in front of a series of experts in the area and review if a record offense from your past qualifies for expungement. And in some cases, there might be offenses that don't qualify for expungement, but do qualify for you to apply for a pardon in the state of New Jersey.
Now, expungement means that if there is something that does qualify under these qualifications, what exactly is an expungement? Does that mean that this record is totally obliterated? It disappears? It's not recoverable? It's not retraceable? Does it totally disappear?
Well, I'll let the public defender talk about the technical aspects, but I want to emphasize that we are doing this for social justice, for bettering the lives of the people in New Jersey, and leading with love and forgiveness.
And that's that opens doors, folks. That opens opportunities for those who feel like for one mistake in their lives, that their whole lives have been driven by that one mistake. So there's an opportunity here. And again, we're going to have our New Jersey State Public Defender, Ms. Jennifer Siletti, tell us the rest of the story. And again, what exactly is expungible? And we are talking about, you tell us. I'm not going to assume that I know what you're going to tell me. Go ahead.
Sure. So expungible offenses it's a little difficult to just kind of give you a list of expungible offenses because some of them are depend on the exact statutory number of which somebody was convicted and their prior criminal history. But generally speaking, we are talking about nonviolent offenses. We are talking about drug offenses. We're talking about marijuana offenses. We are talking about people who have minimal criminal histories and have had no involvement in the criminal justice system for some period of time after their offense. So generally, we're talking about people who made some minor mistakes a long time ago and have now gotten to the point where they're able to have those mistakes sort of erased from their record so that they can move on to lead productive lives.
I know I've heard from a few folks since there has been the legalization of cannabis locations in New Jersey, and there are many in Franklin Township. And the overriding question was, I had to go to jail because I did this, and now it's legal. Is that one of these expungible offenses?
Yes, certain marijuana offenses are expungible, and a lot of those were kind of taken care of when the new legislation was passed legalizing marijuana. But people who have those kinds of offenses, if they come in, were able to get those expunged.
Okay. Are there offenses that are not considered expungible?
Yes. Violent offenses, first-degree offenses, many second-degree offenses are not expungible. And then sometimes, depending on a person's history, an offense that might be expungable for a person who has an otherwise clean record may not be able to get expunged if somebody has an extensive criminal history. So it's a little bit of a matrix kind of too, and that's why it requires experts to take a look at the offense, look at a person's criminal history, and then advise them of whether or not they're eligible for an expungement.
Okay, and today's clinic goes until 2? Is that it? 2 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock today. And when somebody comes here, what can they expect to happen? Does somebody just sit down, review their case, and then write an expunged over the offense, and they're done, they're free and clear? The record is obliterated at that point? Or is there a process? Is it a 2-week wait? Is it a month wait? Is it 6 months before somebody can feel honestly that their record has been expunged?
So today is the beginning of the process. So they'll fill out the paperwork. Our lawyers will submit the application for expungement. That will be reviewed by the court, and then the court will issue an order. And at that time, that order then is sent to the state police. And thanks to some recent litigation that we did with the state police over the expeditious processing of expungements, we are now, we've reached an agreement with the state police where they're processing those in a very timely fashion. So it's not the end of the process today, but people will walk out of here today with all the paperwork complete and knowing whether or not they are eligible and statutorily qualified for that expungement.
Now, somebody walks out of here with that documentation. Would you suggest, and I'm speaking hypothetically, a little minor traffic infraction? Oh, your tail light is out. And a police officer stops you and goes back to his car and looks up who you are. And all of a sudden, this marijuana thing comes up. Would it be then possible and advisable for someone who's got the paperwork to have that ready and willing to show, so as to clarify that that status isn't anymore?
So I do want to be clear that with an expungement, you don't have that that on your record anymore. So, for example, if you're going to go get a job and they ask you, "Do you have a criminal history?" you can answer no. Police are always going to be able to access somebody's arrest history. And the expungement order that they leave here with today is not shouldn't really be relevant in a police officer's determination of what they do when they pull somebody over. This is more, the expungement more clears the pathway for getting licenses, getting jobs, doing those kinds of things, not necessarily as a justification for something to law enforcement.
Okay. I don't know that it would be a justification, but just as a self-protective. I can envision somebody saying, "Oh, I really should have this with me just in case." So if they choose to, they will. That's all. But they leave here today with a sense of, I have a new opportunity in front of me. And this is such a gift from you, Assemblyman Danielsen, that you've created this, that you found the necessity and had the heart to make it happen.
I want to stress that today's event is free, it's confidential, it's safe, and it's at the First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens, who always opens their door to the community. It is the place to be. But you don't necessarily have to come here to begin the process. You could contact the State Defender's Office, and if you need other additional help, you can contact my office, because we are always at your service.
Is there an address or a website whereby someone could apply for this online if they can't be here today?
So if you go to the New Jersey office of the Public Defender website, there is an expungement section. You want to also just thank Assemblyman Danielsen. He has been a leader in this area on expungements, and this is the second one of these. We did 200 expungements at the last clinic. We're on target to match or exceed that number at this one. Our office has handled more than 4,000 expungements this year at events just like this one all over the state of New Jersey. So in addition to looking for more clinics here and looking for information on our website, our social media page, we are always posting upcoming expungement clinics we're doing in partnership with churches and other community leaders across the state. So I would say check out the Public Defender Facebook page and you'll see what expungement events we have coming up. We have another 6 coming up in the next couple of months.
Also, may I plug 2 other clinics we are working on? Through my legislative office, we are working on the safe surrender event for weapons, where if you have access to, or you're in possession of a weapon and would like to surrender that in a safe, secure, confidential manner, we're working on that. And also the resolution of active warrants, which is a really big event. We're also working on that. We don't have a date yet because it's a lot of work to put it together, but it would be a similar clinic to this. But if you have an active warrant in New Jersey, the goal of the clinic would be to show up here at the church and get that warrant resolved with the defender's office, the prosecutor, and the court system.
And are there attorneys here to facilitate that?
There will be on that day. Absolutely.
Okay. And do you have a date?
I don't have a date. I've been working on it for the last 6 months, but it will happen.
Okay. Well, you have heard it first from Assemblyman Joe Danielsen. When he makes up his, there is going to be a date. So we will be on hand to let you know the rest of that story. But today, Franklin, until 3 o'clock on Route 27, First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens, Pastor Dante Quick has been always so generous in his support on a community level from all parts of Franklin and even beyond. This is a wonderful event. It's an opportunity for people to have a fresh start and opens doors to housing, opens doors to employment, but most of all, opens the door to one's own self-esteem that the rest of their life is going to be much better. Hundreds of people today, hundreds. And once again, you've made a difference. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Always at your service.
Yes. And thank you for this as well, because I know you're championing this. And New Jersey has your back, Franklin. This is PJ Parker, Franklin reporter and advocate. We always, as usual, thank Bill Bowman for his extraordinary live streaming ability and bringing this message to